Abergavenny is a small market town located in the south of Wales. It sits on the edge of the Brecon Beacons National Park and about 6 miles from the English border. The town's origins can be traced back to a Roman fort established around the 2nd century AD. The town's football club is about 2,000 years younger than the town itself, as it was founded in 2014. The team plays at the Penny Pound Stadium, situated in the heart of the town and boasts a capacity of 1,345. The club have enjoyed modest success in the Welsh leagues in their 10-year existence, and have even managed to win the FA Wales Trophy in 2016 when they beat Sully Sports at 1-0 in the final. Hopefully we can bring a little bit more success to this little Welsh town. Welcome back to the European Journeyman. Hello and welcome back. Yesterday we left off here just at the first game of the season after building our squad, so if you haven't seen that, go and check out yesterday's video. And without further ado, this is the starting lineup for the first game of the season in the first round of the Cup. The only person who drops out from where we ended off last video is Evans, who's suspended from a game from last season presumably. We've got Ridd in goal, Strong, Jenkins, Moss and Wilson as the defence. The three in the middle, Jones and Saunders. I'm going to have to make a Jones counter at some point because everybody has the same name in this country. Pritchard, Roberts and Blake make up the front three. And for the first team talk, we are going to say that we should be winning. I feel like we're going to be doing that quite a lot this season after we saw the season preview. Don't pay much attention to the recent form because that was all from last season and they had a terrible end to the season. They only won 5 games all season. So the fact that they managed to stay up is a bit of a miracle, really. Here we are leading our team out at the Penny Pound Stadium for the first time. As you saw in the intro, it's not exactly the biggest stadium in the world, but I'm just going to set the camera settings out now. Give me 2 seconds. There we go, much better. And we have a highlight at the start of the game for Cashews, I'm going to call them. Hesden, the striker, up front, and Ridd makes a great save. His first touch for Abergavenny, and it's a good one. But Cashews have a corner on the right hand side for them. Turner is going to take it as an in-swinger, but Phillips takes it as they go short. I hope we're on key highlights. Yes, we are. So hopefully we'll be back in a moment with an attacking highlight. And here we are, Abergavenny with an attacking highlight. Pritchard has the ball on the left wing, whips it into Blake, and Blake hits the post. Unfortunately for us, we don't score straight away. But we're half an hour in and it's not looking great. We've only got 30% possession against the Cashews. This direct play may not be what we are needing at the moment. Half time then, 0-0. The XG story is not looking exactly thrilling. I'm not happy with the amount of possession we've had, but we'll have a shout at the boys and hopefully in the second half we can do a lot better. Of course, they're still gelling together. There's an entirely new team. I said last video that Saunders was here last season, but he wasn't. He just signed at the end of last season when I was here, but he didn't actually have a chance to play any games. 77 minutes on the clock then, and I'm going to make some substitutions. I've only got 5 on the bench. I really should have changed the bench up before I came into the game. James is going to come on for Roberts, and left back Parry is going to come on for Strong, just for fatigue issues. The corner then on the left from Moss, the centre back who's taken it. I'm not sure what his corner stat is. Attribute, 5, so it doesn't seem like we've got a lot of good corner takers in the team, but there is Blake with the inaugural goal of the save. Henry Blake with a big header from a cross from the left. Who was that who whipped the ball in? I think it was Moss, the big centre back, with 5 corners attribute, but Blake heads home with 10 minutes to go, so hopefully we can hold on. I'm going to put it back to cautious just so we can see the game out, and hopefully we can hold on to this 1-0 win. Pritchard now looking forward to Blake. Is he going to cut inside and do anything? Still on the yellow card. Wilson now on the right hand side, whips it in to Pritchard. Pritchard with a header, gets in. 2-0. Cian Pritchard puts the game to bed. We're going to make one more substitution now, just to make sure we have fresh legs. Lewis Ware comes on. Look at the replay now. Wilson now with a wicked cross into Pritchard. And he heads home. Jones gets a hand to it, but not enough. And we're up 2-0. Abergavenny 2, Cashews 0. And there we have it then, 2-0. Henry Blake and Kieran Pritchard scoring and making it look quite comfortable in the end. Our average ratings as a whole looks very green, so I'm quite happy with that. We had 20 shots to their 8, but the possession's a bit worrying. But we'll see how we are in the next few games and see if that's going to be a persistent issue. They might have just been focusing on possession entirely. Well done, boys. That's a good day's work. The young players I've been signing have been breaking records left and right. The club's youngest ever player is now Roberts at 15 years old. He's our right winger. He's not fantastic, but he's 15, so he might improve. And Blake becomes the youngest ever goal scorer for the club with his 80th minute header in the last game. Good stuff. I think the answer to the right back issue is here in the form of Gino Keane, a 16-year-old English right back who's come in as a regen. He's got 9 crossing, which is the most important attribute I'm looking at because we're trying to get the ball into the target forward as much as we can, and decent physical abilities. He's only 5'3" with 3 jumping reach, but the rest of his attributes make me want to play him. Sean Wilson, by contrast, has only got 7 crossing and less good physical abilities. So I think I'm just going to go with Gino for the foreseeable future. I've gone with Kieran Pritchard as the captain and Matthew Jones as his deputy. We had better players in theory that are better as a captain in the club, but I felt like with age concerns for these 3 players and ability concerns for the others, Kieran Pritchard being our best player in the squad would be more suited to be the captain. Jones, I think, is going to be a stalwart in the midfield for the season, so I'm quite happy with Pritchard and Jones as the captains. This is the state of the under-19s. I've just taken the players that I've signed in the summer that weren't good enough and a couple of players from the team from last season that have survived and stuck them down here. They're never going to really feature in the first team, but they might as well stay in the club because they're not really affecting the wage budget that much, and they can just fill in if we get an injury crisis or 2 throughout the season. If they get bids like Jack Sage here, they can go. No harm, no foul, but they might as well stick around. And this is the lineup for the first game of the league campaign. We're against, and they are predicted to finish 11th in the league at 25-1. We're sitting first at 2-9 still. Only Jones and Evans in the media dream 11, but overall I feel like we're quite consistently good throughout the squad. And I don't think the other teams are going to have consistently good players throughout the squad. I think they'll just have 1 or 2 good players here and there, and the rest are just going to be dross. The starting 11 stays pretty much the same, but Evans, who was suspended for the last game, comes in, and Keane comes in for Wilson, even though he played quite well. He drops to the bench. He might come on, we'll see. Gino Keane wants the number 4, and that's the squad number we have available, which is quite nice. The team sheets have been submitted, and we should be winning this match. Make sure we do. I'm going to point the finger and say that to the boys. And back-to-back games at the Penny Pound Stadium. The lineup's looking quite good. The team are gelling. And hopefully we can get a few wins under our belts. Abergavenny with a free kick on. Ooh, hits the bar from Blake. And headed over from the rebound. 15 minutes gone then. The possession stats looking quite even compared to the last game. And it looks like we're playing a bit further up the pitch than we were the game before. And Roberts heads home from a Jones cross from the left. The 15-year-old scoring. Maybe he's the youngest goal scorer in the club now. 1-0 against... Is that joke going to get old anytime soon? Probably. It's only the 7th time I've used it. Jones doesn't save from the Jones corner. And Roberts heads home. 1-0. Half-time then, 1-0. Happy with that. The possession's looking a lot better than it was last game. Hopefully we get more in the second half. Keane now with a throw-in on the right-hand side. Plays it to Roberts, goal scorer. Keane gets the ball back. Is he going to whip it in? No, plays back to Jones. Jones whips it in. And Pritchard. Oh, Henry Blake takes it off his head and makes it 2-0, scoring in his second successive game. I think Pritchard would have had that if Blake didn't, but it doesn't really matter to me. As long as somebody puts their head on the end of it and it goes in the back of the net, that's fine by me. Great crossing from Jones, and Blake leaping like a salmon to put the ball in the back of the net. 2-0. Mumble with a throw-in of their own on the left-hand side for them. Plays it back to Stevens, and Edwards Hughes gets 1 back. We've still got a 1-goal lead, and hopefully Pritchard can make it 2 again. Oh, Henry Blake does get on the end of a Pritchard cross from the left-hand sided corner and redeems our 2-goal advantage against Mumbly Bumbly. A highlight immediately from the goal we've just scored to make it 3-1. Oh, Pritchard pounces on a pass from Strong, who cut out a loose ball, passes it up to Blake. Blake back to Saunders, who's sitting just in front of the back line, carries it up the field to Jones. Jones cracks. Oh, what a finish from Matthew Jones on his weaker foot, I think. Cracked it home from about 30 yards out, and this has turned into a bit of a demolition job now for Abergavenny against Mumble. Our 1-goal advantage turned into a 3-goal advantage within the space of 2 minutes there. Good stuff. Substitute time now. I think I'm going to try and get some of these players who don't have any match fitness to get match fitness. I don't really want to take off Henry Blake, who's on a hat-trick, so we're going to bring on Lolo Jones on the left wing for Pritchard. James is going to come on for Roberts. Ware is going to come on for Saunders. Can I make 5 substitutes? Yes, I can. Moss is going to come on for Jenkins, and we're going to save the last substitution in case we get an injury. Rid now with the goal kick plays it short and is pounced on by Mumble, who get a cheap goal back, really. Not exactly what we want to see from our new goalkeeper. A highlight now in the dying embers of the game. Oh, Morgan with a great header smashes it past Rid and makes it 4-3. A bit of defensive fragility to worry about at the end of this game. We looked pretty much on top the entire game until that last 10 minutes where we just kind of imploded a bit. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. We win 4-3. Good work, everyone, but work to do defensively. But again, the team are gelling still, so maybe I can let them off with those few errors towards the end. I'm not the only one who's disappointed by the defences, because the Mumble manager, Hawthorne, has come out in the press and said he's been disappointed by the defences. He wasn't too impressed with their defending, and I wasn't too impressed with ours. But we're going to call that there then for the episodes. We're going to come back sometime in September, probably for the first round of the Welsh Cup and the game against Britain Ferry. If you've enjoyed that, please like the video and share with your friends. Watch other videos if you like, and I'll see you next time.